I ran into my boyfriend 24 years after we broke up. When I saw him, he started fake crying. My boyfriend's name was Eugene. We dated in junior year. He was awkward and sweet and a little too eager to impress my parents. My mom was convinced that he was harmless. She made him dinner twice. He sat at our kitchen table and complimented her cooking while she smiled and told him to come back anytime. We broke up before senior year. No drama, just fizzled out. He faded into the background of my life like most high school relationships do. Then January 2001 happened. I was 19, just starting to figure out who I was, when I got a call from my mom's coworker saying my mom had never shown up for work that day. My heart dropped immediately. My mom had never missed a day of work in her life. She loved that about herself. I wasted no time dialing 911. When they answered the phone, they tried to wave me off as a dramatic teenager, but I didn't let them. I convinced them to go to her house in Maryland and check on her. What the police found when they made it into her house made them sick. It made us all sick. My mother, the same woman who made cookies for everyone in the neighborhood once a week, had been attacked in her own home. But it made no sense, because there was no forced entry, no signs of robbery. Her purse was still on the counter, her car in the driveway, her jewelry completely untouched. Whoever did this wasn't after her money. They were after her, and her only. The police asked me who it could be, and I had no idea. I was in so much pain that I couldn't even think, so her husband became the first suspect. They'd gotten into an argument the night before, and he had slept in his car. I tried to tell the detectives to look for another suspect, that it couldn't be the same man who loved my mom to death, but they didn't listen. And for years, they dragged him into that interrogation room and grilled him for hours. His life was never the same after that. At every family gathering, every holiday, every quiet moment, people wondered if he did it. When he died in 2017, the case went cold. I never stopped thinking about it though. For 24 years, I tried to move on, tried to build a life, but there was always this open wound that refused to heal. Then in 2024, I got a phone call that changed everything. A new detective had come in and was reviewing old cases. And because new genetic genealogy technology had come out, he wanted to find my mom's killer. The detective still had DNA from the crime scene. It was DNA they'd found under my mom's fingernails from when she attacked her killer. DNA that belonged to her killer. They ran it through new databases and finally found a match to the killer's DNA. When the detective said his name, I thought I was going to pass out. Eugene, my ex-boyfriend from high school. The detective explained they needed to find new DNA from Eugene to confirm their suspicions. I stopped listening after that. Everything hit me at once. I had introduced my mom to her killer. Did this mean it was my fault? Why would Eugene, of all people, do this? I stayed up for 3 days replaying every memory I had of him, every conversation, every awkward silence. Did I miss something? Was he obsessed with her? Was he obsessed with me and she got in the way? And soon, I got my answer to everything, because the police called me again. This time, it was to tell me that they had found Eugene's DNA in a trash can at Dulles Airport. They grabbed a water bottle he threw away and matched the DNA to the crime scene. Their suspicions were confirmed. We're going to take him in for questioning, they said. But the case is open and shut. We finally found your mom's killer. I took a deep breath and asked, can I watch the interrogation footage? He said yes. I breathed a sigh of relief. I thought watching the footage would give me the closure I needed to move on. A few days passed, and when I watched his interrogation video, I somehow felt even worse. When the detectives asked, why did you do it? Eugene just responded with, I blacked out. I used to have really bad drinking problems. I had to stop myself from tearing my hair out, but that's when he did something that changed everything. He buried his face in his hands like he was crying. The detective just stared at him and laughed at him. There's no tears coming out of your eyes, Eugene. Why are you faking it? Eugene's face went red with embarrassment. I'm just dehydrated. He was arrested that same day.